What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you're here before, I'm Neon Mushroom. We're gonna play some Jeskai Energy in Magic the Gathering Online Modern League today. This is on like a few of the lists I've tried before. We're doing like dress downs in the main and dress down in the main. With the Snapcaster Mage, some of the numbers are a little weird, but this is McWinsauce's list. He just like top 4'd, I think, or maybe he won it, I'm not sure. One of the preliminaries. So we're gonna play his list and we're just gonna try it blind. If you wanna see the list in detail, the full list is in the description below. And if you don't know how Jeskai Energy works, we're basically using cards like Tune the Narrative and Galvanic Discharge to draw cards and deal with threats. And then later in the game, we're going to try to use cards like Wrath of the Skies to absolutely like 6-for-1 our opponent and go over the top of the game with cards like Phlage and the One Ring. Again, if you want to see every single card and dissect it for yourself, check out the link in the description. And just a tiny little announcement before we get into the games. So this Izzet Wizards series we just did, and the last video actually comes out in a couple days from now. Spoiler alert, that's going to be against Affinity. If you're a patron, you've already seen that video. Speaking of Patreon, in addition to getting to see a lot of these videos early, we're going to roll something new out. So first, for pre-modern, which is a format I really enjoy, but not everyone in the world does, and I totally get that, we are going to be doing the pre-modern videos in series as well. So I think the next one that I want to do is either Dead Guy Ale or Big Choco Panda as the main deck played into like 3 or 4 other decks. And what I'm going to do, and this is going to be the case for future pre-modern videos, is I'm going to upload the first one in the series to YouTube so everyone can just enjoy it. But then if you want to finish the series, I'm going to upload the remaining 2 to 3 videos for patrons only, since that is it's more of a niche format and we focus on mostly modern here. So that's going to be a nice incentive if you would like to be a Patreon. If not, do not sweat it. We're still going to be putting all the modern stuff up live on YouTube, and you're still going to get some pre-modern content. It doesn't perform as well, but I think some of it should be absolutely free for you. So that's just wanted to point that out. And we're going to be doing all the modern videos, or a lot of the modern videos, in series as well. That way you can, not just see the deck into one matchup, but into multiple matchups. And we might mix it up and delay some so we can keep the variance up. But that was my whole announcement. Let's go ahead and hop into a modern league. All right, we found our first opponent and we're on the draw, unfortunately. This hand sucks. We've got a basic plains and absolutely nothing else to do, so we're gonna take a mulligan. This second hand is pretty good. We can start things off with Galvanic Discharge if we need to. The counterspell is a bit awkward. That's probably what we're supposed to ship. If our opponent's not doing anything, any plan that can handle a Phlage, we might even be able to flash Dress Down in at their end step and play our Phage. It won't kill anything, but we'll be able to just have a Phlage in play on turn 3, and that'll be pretty cool. But since we don't have blue, we'll pitch this counterspell. Flooded Strand will probably have to go get something like a Thundering Fall, since we have white in the form of Sacred Foundry and Plains. So let's keep this, pitch the counterspell, and go. Our opponent also does not open on a companion, so this could be a lot of decks. Hopefully it's not Eldrazi. I've heard that matchup's supposed to be pretty tough. There's a Hedge Maze. Don't know what that means yet. Could be Living End. I think that matchup's generally pretty good for us. They keep the card on top though. Go to my turn, draw Galvanic Discharge. Here is my Flooded Strand, and I will pass to my opponent. Hallowed Fountain, Shock, and Malevolent Rumble. Really, I'm not sure what this means, but that resolves. Maybe they're playing like a domain control deck. We'll see. They're about to put a bunch of things into the graveyard. Looks like we're playing against Amulet Titan, which normally is a pretty good matchup for us. We don't have any Solitudes in hand, and that's one of the things that makes the matchup so sweet, but we do have a dress down, so let's see what we can do. Go to the end step. Let's go ahead and go grab a Thundering Falls. Thundering Falls enters. We get a Surveil. That's a Phlage. We can put that right into the bin and then go to our turn. All right, draw another Phlage. So we're Phlaging really hard. I think we're going to lean into this dress down play now. So we'll just play Plains and ship the turn. All right, I said Amulet Titan, but this could be a Through the Breach deck as well. Some type of Eldrazi Through the Breach deck. It's just kind of weird that they've got Hedge Maze and Hallowed Fountain in play when the Amulet Titan decks usually play like lands that do the Amulet thing. So really, it could also be a Brew. Temple Garden, Shock. What does it mean? All right. Oh, it's Nadu. Oh, is our opponent just trying to do Nadu? Sure, why not? Nadu's good. They pass the turn, looks like. So now, I think we go to end step. Do we still dress down this Phlage into play? If they had the ability to go off, they probably would have went for it there, right? Or do we just Galvanic Discharge the Eldrazi spawn? They would sacrifice it, right? Yeah, this might just be Bant Nadu. I didn't know they played Malevolent Rumble. I'm not sure what the correct play is. I can't actually deal with Nadu without giving them cards, and I don't have the double red, so I'd have to untap and double discharge Nadu. And discharging the Eldrazi spawn seems sus too. So we're actually just going to go with the alpha plan of casting Dress Down and cycling and card. Okay, draw Flooded Strand, my turn. Solitude would be a hot top deck. We do not get a Solitude. Loath to see it, but here's a Sacred Foundry. We're going to find out if we just lose, because I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do the thing my deck is slotted to do and play out Phlage. Phlage will enter. It does not trigger because Dress Down's in play, but I just have a Phlage in play. Let's see how that works out for us. Dress Down leaves. Go opponent. If our opponent starts to go off, there's no way I'm editing through the entirety of a Nadu playthrough. So what I'll do is I'll just like leave it on X10 speed or X20 speed, and we'll watch the Nadu deck go off. There's a Haywire Mite. So far, no Shuko. Chord? Outrider in core? All right, there's the chord. Go for it, opponent. I'm going to F6. Okay, they did all that and they're courting for another Nadu maybe, or is it a Spring Rider? It's a Spring Heart Nantuko. I think they win, but I'm gonna let them do this. I'm not gonna concede to the non-deterministic combo, especially when I'm F6. Okay, it looks like they cleared the stack. Are they gonna Sylvan Safekeeper? Do they have Thoracle? They have Thoracle. Okay. We have lost the game. Don't we just love that this is legal? That you can do this? Okay. Nadu. Typically, this deck's supposed to have a pretty good Nadu matchup. But I've yet to play it because I'm trying to ignore it until WotC does something about it, because this deck is problematic. What do we want? I think Subtlety is pretty good. Wrath of the Skies, number 4 is definitely good. We've got Solitude, so we don't need to worry about, like, there's no verdicts in this list, it doesn't look like. But we've got Solitude to deal with cards like Sun Cleanser, so that's fine. I think Dress Down is probably fine. Magistrate seems not great. Force of Negation seems not great. Mystical Dispute seems like fine at best. I don't know if that's the route we want to go. Consign to Memory seems poor. Charmaw seems poor. Teferi seems poor. Soul Guide Lantern seems poor, to be honest. I think I just want like these 3 cards. And then what do we want to lose becomes a question. I think Force of Negation probably comes out. I think that Spell Snare is probably quite good. I really love Tune the Narrative. I think Invert Polarity kind of sucks in this matchup if I had to take a guess. Maybe we lose like a ring. I could see losing one ring. One ring. Ultimately, maybe not so much. Maybe I'm just interested in trimming on like Sink into Stupor or something like that. Yeah, let's trim the Sink into Stupor. I don't think I'm going to be wanting to do that. These cards seem a little bit better. Let's try that. Great way to start a league, just witnessing WotC's most recent awful mistake. But now we know we're playing against Nadu. I mean, this hand is very poor. I have no way to deal with things, so we'll mulligan. This hand is Galvanic Discharge plus Wrath of the Skies and Solitude. This hand, on the other hand, is very good. We will keep this. And we'll ship the basic planes. No Blood Moon shenanigans here. And I think we'll probably get, we care about white. Galvanic Discharge is a consideration. So it's kind of weird what we're supposed to fetch for. Because if we want to be able to discharge the first thing, we'll have to see what they play. So we'll just play a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn. We just want access to Wrath of the Skies, but if we discharge the first thing they play, we would want white to do it on turn 2. The chance we need to Wrath on turn 2 is just kind of hilariously low, so we're just not going to bother even trying. Forest into a Delighted Halfling? Sure. I think that kind of solves our problem for us. We're going to fetch and shock for a... The problem with getting Sacred Foundries and Elegant Parlors is Counterspell becomes awkward. So maybe we just like, yeah, we're going to put the Wrath of this guy's off and just get a Steam Vents. All right, fetch, grab, there's my Steam Vents, shock that into play. Tap for red, Galvanic Discharge, the Delighted Halfling. I will pay 2 energy to kill it, and my turn. Draw another Discharge, not bad. Probably get an Archive off this Arid Mesa, so we'll just play that and pass. Land, Urza Saga, sure. Springheart, absolutely. So now it's interesting. I kind of feel like I want to Galvanic Discharge the Springheart Nantuko, and I'm going to fetch first and Surveil, see what's on top. But and not spend any energy, because I can use this Wrath of the Skies to take out Springheart plus Urza Saga. That seems quite good. I'm going to grab Meticulous Archive, trigger, put that back up here. Top card is the One Ring. We're going to want it at some point, so we'll leave it on top. Then yeah, we'll go red. I will... You know what? No. Actually, we don't want to do that. Because we can just fetch shock, right? And then have 2 energy and still do it and not lose the Galvanic Discharge. I think I like that much better. Yeah. It does mean we have to fetch shock, but we had to do that for double weight anyway. So let's just go to our turn. Draw the One Ring, play the Scalding Tarn, fetch shock. Does this list play a Sacred Foundry? Because that's kind of what I want to get here. It does. Sacred Foundry. Shock it into play. Tap for white. White. Blue. Cast Wrath of the Skies. Pay white, white plus blue. X is 1. Done. And then I will pay 2 energy. And kill your whole board, opponent. Alright, go. And if we just draw land, I think we're in like great shape. Windswept Teeth, anything else? Looks like a no. We draw planes, so let's just play the One Ring. Can you stop this? Fetch, sure. Sure, Hedge Maze, why not? Safekeeper to the bin, sure. Can I have this One Ring? Great trigger, gain protection from everything, and draw and card. You are up, opponent. Temple Garden, tapped, so no Nadu. Good to know. Pass to me. Me take one off the ring and draw. Me draw two. There's a counterspell, that's pretty great. Let's play Mystic Gate. Let's tap the Mystic Gate for colorless. Let's get a white and a red. And I'm just gonna Phlage my opponent here. Phlage trigger face. How about 15 all? And next turn, I can escape the Phlage and hold up counterspell, which is exactly what we want to do. So we'll just pass. Don't mind my demeanor. I'm actually disgusted by the fact that Nadu's still running around and WotC hasn't done anything about it. This deck's really hard to play on MTGO, so this is no slight towards our opponent. Our opponent hasn't done anything whatsoever wrong. Sun Cleanser, I think this is a really good counterspell target, so no thanks. Yeah, our opponent hasn't committed any crimes. They're just doing the thing they're allowed to do. This just shouldn't be allowed. Like, we've been playing a lot of Grief on the channel. That shouldn't be allowed either, but that's a whole different conversation. Okay, they mulled to 5, but even so, that was a very easy win for us. I don't know if we want to make any real changes for game 3. I like the configuration of our library. They do have Sun Cleanser, so it's good to know because of our Solitudes. No, I think we're absolutely fine with this configuration. All right, we've got Discharge, Subtlety, Tune, Phlage, 3 lands. This seems fine. We really would prefer to have a Wrath of the Skies in our opening hand, but we've got some time to look for it. Their best play is to like open on Delighted Halfling. We have a way to nix that and go up energy. So we're just gonna keep. And we've got like Pitch, Tune to Subtlety to slow down the Nadu, which is also pretty good. All right, they open on Urza Saga, so it looks like they're gonna be aggressively grabbing Shuko. Me go, me draw, discharge, pretty good. What's the chance that I want to discharge whatever they play this turn? Probably pretty low, right? Let's just play Meticulous Archive tapped. Get a Surveillance. It's the One Ring. I do like that card. However, I think I'm actively looking for Wrath of the Skies. So we'll put that into the graveyard and just pass. Saga goes to 2. That's just fine. Breeding Pool, shock it into place. Springheart and Entuco. There it is. That's fine. We'll discharge that. Pass to me. Me go. There's the Wrath. So we found the thing we were looking for. Unfortunately, we can't string it together this turn. So we're going to go ahead and deal with the Springheart and Entuco so they can't go too wide. Pay a red. Discharge the Springheart. We will use 1 energy to kill it, and then we will just pass the turn. If they decide to go for like a Sun Cleanser, we will be able to just Subtlety the Sun Cleanser and that'll be no sweat. If they decide to go for a Nadu, same situation. We're just not going to let them start to go off. There's the Shuko. We got land plus Nadu. All right, there's the Nadu. Subtlety, cast by exiling a blue card. We'll get rid of Tune the narrative. Subtlety, target Nadu. You're good, dude. We're not doing that today. Done. Migo. Counterspell would be a hot top deck. We do not get that luxury. So now if they have land, what did they do with Nadu? They put it on top. So it might just be correct to Wrath away the Shuko. That actually might just be the play. If we want to Wrath away the Shuko, we also want to have enough energy to kill Nadu, meaning that it might be correct to fetch and grab well, we're not worried about Blood Moon, so we can fetch and shock. Probably grab a Steam Vents, and then we can pay an energy. And then, no, we don't even need to do that because we've got 2 energy. We're only going to be wrathing for 1. So yeah, we can actually hold this for a Surveil. So we'll go white, white, Wrath of the Skies, X will equal 0, and then I will pay 1 energy and destroy Shugo because that's problematic, and pass. Springheart, sure. All right, land, trigger Springheart, that's also fine. Fetch, now I can kill the Springheart and stop them from going wider. And I think it might be correct to do that. So let's fetch. Let's grab a Steam Vents and shock it into play. And then let's go for a red and Galvanic Discharge targeting Springheart. And then we will pay an energy. The fetch is good. Temple Garden Shock, Shuko. Okay, they've got a second Shuko, of course. Equip Shuko, sure. All right, we just want to draw like Counterspell now. Like real bad. Galvanic Discharge. Well, we can deal with stuff. So let's go Scalding Tarn. Do we want to fetch now? They're going to play Nadu. They're going to draw 2 cards. That's just the way it's going to have to go. So let's fetch now. We need to make sure we can escape the Phlage. So Hallowed Fountain should do it. Yeah, we'll grab a Hallowed Fountain and zap it into play. We'll leave this red up so we can Galvanic Discharge the Nadu itself. So we'll go blue, red, white, cast Phlage, trigger the Phlage, kill the insect token. I'll go up to 15, and then we will just pass the turn. Unfortunately, they're going to go up to 3, down to 2 when they cast Nadu, and then they're going to get 2 Nadu triggers because they're going to get to equip the Shuko once. Then I'm going to discharge the Nadu. So here comes Nadu. They go to equip Shuko. So here comes red, Galvanic Discharge the Nadu. Pay 1, 2, 3, 4 energy. And then their trigger on the stack from Nadu resolves as well. A 1 ring is in their hand. That's not great for us. Looks like we might lose anyway, even though we did have a lot of the tools. But they had double Shuko, double Nadu. Not great for us. Let's escape a Phlage. We can at least take out the Dryad Arbor. White, white, red, red. I'll get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Phlage comes into play. Phlage will deal with Dryad Arbor. And then that's all I got, opponent. Go. All right, they have a Misty. They're going to fetch. Looks like they're just going to 1 ring us. In order to keep up with this, we need to hope to draw our own 1 ring. We don't really want to start looping their own 1 ring with Teferi because we need this Phlage to start doing some work. We'll still attack with the Phlage, get a trigger, hit itself with the trigger so we can gain 3 life. We're probably on main phase tune the narrative as well. All right, Spell Snare, not great. Let's go ahead and blue tune. Another Phlage, also not great. We'll go to combat. We'll attack. Phlage will trigger. Target Phlage itself with the trigger. I go to 21, and then we pass. They're going to take 1 off the 1 ring, go to 13. If they draw 2, then they're going to go down to 11. Phlage deals 9. So if this Spell Snare can be used to keep their board clean, we might be okay. But if they just draw Nadu number 3, it's or not. I guess it would be Nadu number 2 because I dealt with the first one once. Then it's pretty bad. They draw 2. Anyone watching this thinking the 1 ring needs to be banned, the 1 ring is not wrong with what's happened this game. The problem is that 1 ring was their fail state. Another 1 ring? Sure. I'm also a 1 ring deck. All right, activate, draw a card, sure. Pass to me. Wrath of the Skies. Actually not miserable here. We'll go to combat. We're going to do the same thing. Attack with Phlage, trigger Phlage, hit Phlage. Just go to 24. Then we will go to the end step and just pass. There's like maybe some argument to Wrath of the Skies for 1 to get Shuko out of play, but I think I need to be patient. If they draw Nadu, we're probably just dead. But if they try to go wide before Nadu, we might be in an okay spot because they go wide and then we just Wrath of the Skies. Ring triggered, you go to 11. All right, now if I can hit them with Phlage and they do not find another 1 ring, they will die to the trigger because 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. Island, Sylvan Safekeeper's fine. I can't do anything about that. Delighted Halfling, also can't do anything about that. Shuko onto Halfling, sure. Are they just passing? Okay, well I have the Wrath. On 1, it's quite good here. I'm gonna shock this into play because who cares? And then go white, white, Wrath. Pay white, white. And then we're gonna do a Wrath for 1 because everything's a 1-drop. Do you have a counterspell? Or are you Cordon? Cord, sure. Sun Cleanser? Yep, can't interact with that. Cool. Well, I have no energy, so I will pay 0. Awesome. Go to combat. Attack. Trigger the Phlage. They have to block with Sun Cleanser is the only bright side here. So I'll put the Phlage damage on them. Block with Sun Cleanser. Sun Cleanser is dead. Now, if I put 3 damage on them, they'll go to 5, then down to 3 off the 1 ring. That just seems not worth it, so I guess we're going to clench. Pass. Draw many cards. Lush Portico, Surveil. Now, our opponent is doing the correct thing here. Lush Portico to Surveil first is better when they're looking for something very specific. They probably need like their last ring to get out from under this Phlage or something, or just like Nadu to combo me. But normally you draw the cards first and then Surveil because you technically go deeper information-wise if you stack it that way. Because if you Surveil and want the card on top, then draw, you lose an information of 1 whole card. 4, you have 1 ring number 3. Looks like we're courting. Not sure for what. Probably just Nadu so they can try to pop off here. Cord for 3, yeah, they're just gonna go for it. Oh, it's a shame. A counterspell at any spot here would have just been like game, I think. But here's their Nadu. They're gonna go for the thing. This time I'm gonna manually go through the phases because if they ever try to drop a Spring Heart Nantuko, I have a response. Trigger, sure. They get another Nadu. Equip it to Nadu, keep going. Make another land drop, sure. We are probably like 95% to lose the game, but if they don't hit a win state, we could wind up in a really good spot here. Top 4 cards, you may put a permanent card from them into your hand, get a Eldrazi spawn. They're down to 2 mana. This might be what we need to use our Spell Snare on. Could be, because the spawn token's going to continue their chain, and I think they're out of targets for Nadu. So it could be that we're supposed to Spell Snare this. However, I think it might just be correct to hold it for Spring Heart Nantuko, actually. No, let's let this resolve. Because Spring Heart Nantuko is what's going to take them into the ether. There's going to be no stop zone. They're just going to keep going and shuffle their deck with Endurance, and that's going to be very bad for us. So Shuko equip, resolves, what do you see? It's a Besiege, sure. Shuko equip, what do you see? Shuko equip, sure. Play Delated Halfling, you got it. Equip, yep. God, this is titillating gameplay. You're welcome. And everyone who wanted to see Nadu on the channel, and I responded to you in the comments saying, I don't want to put Nadu on the channel, here it is, you get it. Against my will, you get to see some Nadu gameplay. If they have another Chord, we're in trouble, but if that Spring Heart and Antuka they just picked up off that Shuko trigger as their last trigger pull, they're probably dead. Blue, Spell Snare, Spring Heart. No thank you. Endurance, sure. You have Endurance. Is the purpose of this to use a Chord? I think it must be, right? Chord for 1, keep going a little bit. There's the Chord. Another Delighted Halfling, sure. So we could still just die here, but I mean, this is about the best chance we're ever going to get. They get a Nadu, so they get one more trigger. Malevolent Rumble, sure. Now what? Are you out of actions yet? All right, looks like they're passing the turn. So Nadu triggers on spell or ability, so I think a really weak play is actually to target Delighted Halfling. Let's read Nadu to be sure. Whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability. So if I target Delighted Halfling with Phlage when I attack, things could happen. It's unlikely, but things could happen. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to attack them and just put the trigger on their face, because then the One Ring trigger will kill them. I'm even going to play the second Phlage and just try to kill them outright. Okay, go to combat. And if they can answer this Phlage, I've got another try. I can Phlage their face. Sylvan Safekeeper. Sure, they're going to go for some line with Safekeeper where they sacrifice a bunch of lands, it looks like. You got it. Keep going. I love that you still have actions to take, even though you're completely tapped out and you just did a billion game actions last turn. This is great. I'm having so much fun right now. Attack you. Trigger Phlage. Face. They're going to continue going with Sylvan Safekeeper. Sure, dude. It resolves. Your triggers are good. Okay. Are you going to keep going? Looks like it. I don't know why they waited to do this till after I attacked. They could have started doing things then. Maybe they thought I was going to target their Delighted Halfling to try to kill them there. But that's not the play. Now you can block with Delighted Halfling, and I'll kill that. All right, dead Delighted Halfling. And then I will go to my main phase, and now I'm going to Phlage you. I guess technically it might be better to play Thundering Falls first. Let's just see what's on top. Prismatic Ending. I can't imagine I'm going to want that. Put it into the bin. Okay. Red, white, whatever. Phlage. Are you dead or am I dead? Okay, you're going to keep going. Cool. Sacrifice more stuff. Sure, dude. Hedge me is to surveil. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what their plan is for the One Ring. Spring Heart and Antuka to the graveyard. Okay, Phlage. Okay. Target the Eldrazi spawn. Why not? Target it again. Sure. Breeding Pool. Are we targeting Delighted Halfling now? Okay. Another target. Sure. Can I play Magic, please? Fetch down to 1. Great. You have 3 floating. But what does it mean? Dryad Arbor. Why not? Maybe their lines to like try to Chord for Thoracle with all this on the stack. I don't know how they can do it. I don't know if it's possible, but maybe. Okay, we win. I've never felt so lukewarm about a win in my life. That was a miserable play experience, and I never want to do it again. Hey, Watsy, maybe do something about that. Maybe your player base will like you a little bit more if you stop doing stupid shit. Let's get to round 2. All right, we found an opponent. We are on the draw, but with any luck, we don't have to play against Nadu again. I say out loud, cursing myself to have to play against Nadu again. Okay, this hand kind of sucks. We've got a Solitude and a Sink into Stupor and a Tune, and these cards are just like generally not great. Even if I had a Solitude pitch, I don't know if I keep this hand. Raugrin in the opener. The lands are kind of medium. I'm just going to mulligan to 6. This hand, I've got a kill spell on 1. I've got Force of Negation plus Counterspell. I think we keep this and just pitch the Hallowed Fountain. Okay, you're up. Arid Mesa. Nothing else. Maybe a bit of a mirror match. Okay, me go. Draw. Snapcaster. Arid Mesa. Go. Bet, sure. Tapped Elegant Parlor. Yeah, this could be energy, or this could be like, well, it's probably an energy deck. Past in Flames, or we could be playing against Ruby Storm. I'm not sure who's supposed to be favored in a matchup like that. We'll find out. Ruby Medallion. Well, no, obviously. Cast by exiling a blue card. I'm going to counter the Ruby Medallion. I'll exile the Snapcaster. Good talk. Alrighty, your end step. I need a blue source because I want to use this counterspell. I think we'll grab Thundering Falls. Trigger the Thundering Falls. It's a Hallowed Fountain. Not interested in that. Go to the graveyard. My turn. Alright, we'll play Flooded Strand. Spell Snare is actually pretty good in this matchup. I think they got a ton of 2-drops. So with any luck, maybe we don't have to deploy the counterspell just yet. We can just use Spell Snare. Sunbait Canyon, yep. Is that it? Looks like it is. Surprising. Don't you need to like do stuff? We've done a couple videos with Ruby Store. Maybe I don't think they're playing Questing Druid being red-white. We played the red-green variation. Let's go ahead and grab the other blue one, which is Meticulous Archive. And Surveil. Tune the Narrative is like, fine. I'm just going to put it into the graveyard. I'd rather just draw spells. Untap and draw. Okay. We'll take a tune anyway. Scalding Tarn, pass. Awkwardly, we might need to like fetch out the Raugrin Triome at end step, just because being able to counterspell and Spell Snare in the same turn may come up. We'll let them go to end step. That said, maybe I don't want to burn my last... Yeah, I definitely don't want to burn my last Surveil just yet. I'm actually going to get the Raugrin Triome, put that into play. Then I'm going to... Hopefully they're not Blood Mooning in the main, that would be miserable. Then I'll tap for a blue, and I'll tune. Draw a Dress Down, not the greatest, but it's fine. The One Ring, well, we don't have the mana for it yet, but because we put that Hallowed Fountain in the bin. But I think we're all right. We'll just keep playing until we can jam this One Ring. Looks like our opponent's going to cast Manamorphose. This is kind of a weird spot to do this, but I think I'm just interested in stopping them right now, perhaps. What could they do at my end step? You know what? I don't know if they can do anything in our end step. Let's let this happen. I'm just going to let them draw a card and make mana. That's fine. Okay, you have 2 red floating. What now? Ren's Resolve? That I will Spell Snare, I think. Crack Sunbait Canyon. Sure. Land. Tap for red. Strike it rich. Sure. Pass to me. I think I'm going to Dress Down at their end step just to cycle it. So we'll go white, blue, Dress Down. Draw a card. We're trying to cast the One Ring. We found our Flooded Strand, so that's good. Go to my turn. We'll go Flooded Strand. I think we just want to Plains here to just hedge against them having a Blood Moon. Normally it's not played in the main, but you know. Tap all these manas, cast the One Ring. I don't think they can kill us when we have a One Ring in play. That's just really important. They tap for 2, Reprieve? Sure, that'll go back to my hand. Now I need to use this Subtlety to do Subtlety type things. If they try to go Rail, we'll pitch cast the Subtlety. They get a Surveil in. They leave that on top. It looks like they did. Tap for 2. It's a Rail. Cast by exiling this. Spell Snare, I think is correct. I guess I could pitch Counterspell and try to Spell Snare or Reprieve on my One Ring. That is a line. But Counterspell's so much better into cards like Past in Flames. No, I think I'll just pitch Spell Snare to Subtlety the Rail. Boom. No, thank you. All right, they're passing back to us. Now, if they have Reprieve, they may have Reprieved there. I think I'm just forced to keep putting the One Ring into play. I can't just go behind the beat and do nothing. So the One Ring, if they have Reprieve, they have Reprieve. All right, this one comes into play. We'll draw, try to find a land drop. We don't find it, but we have protection, so let's see what we can get away with. We've got multiple Galvanic Discharges, so we just don't want to see a Ruby. And there's Rail. Hello, Rail. Pyretic, sure. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something about this deck, but I don't know how good Storming Off here is, because everything deals damage. Past in Flames, sure. Rail. They won the flip on this one. They could flip here. The Rail Monsoon Mage, that is. All right, they flip Rail. Kind of a preemptive one. I can just deal with that using Discharge. Well, at this point, a sequence of discharges, but it'll still do the job. You can like Past in Flames. Yep, you've ticked up Rail. Glimpse the Impossible, sure. We see Resolve and 2 fetches. Fetch, you got it. Past in Flames, absolutely, dude. Pyretic. Desperate. Manamorphose. I wonder if they're playing like Empty the Warrens in the main board. That would be a reason to do this. Of course, it plays into a Wrath, but we don't have that right now. They don't know that, but if they are playing for that, it's like awkwardly kind of good. Okay, another Rail. Sure, dude. They just flipped another Rail. All right, there's a Reckless Impulse in the Exile Zone. I think they've gone through almost everything off of their Past in Flames as well. All right, they're going to ult the Rail. What'd they hit here? Just infinite things? Yep, infinite things. All right, we're going to let them keep casting spells, and I'll tune you back in when something matters. All right, something might matter now. They're casting Wish. There are things that can happen with Wish. We'll see what they do, though. I did forget about the Wish board. Ren's Resolve? Sure. Pyretic? Sure. Alchemist Gambit, take an extra turn after this one. That does happen. We're still going to make them kill us, though. We'll tune back in if we die, or if we live. All right, their turn's ending. They're going to get some Eldrazi spawns, but they only have 2 cards in hand, so we'll see what they can do. They're on their extra turn off of the Alchemist Gambit. All right, they take up Rail, so their stuff costs less. Past in Flames. Does that do it? We see. All right, their storm's at 8, so if they can double grape shot us, we're dead here. Because we have lost the protection off of the ring because of how Alchemist Gambit works and the ring works. We go through an extra turn, and the ring actually, I believe the protection falls off, which is exactly why they play that card in the sideboard. Okay, I guess I win because they couldn't do it. I don't know what their fail state was. I don't know, maybe they just didn't find their grape shots, but I got it. What do we want? I'm pretty sure these Drannith Magistrates and the Soul Guide Lantern are all going to be pretty good. Wrath of the Skies, probably medium. Subtlety, medium. I like Force of Negation. Not so much Dress Down, not so much Mystical Dispute. Go away, OneDrive. No Obsidian Charmaw, no Teferi. Consign to Memory is not even that interesting. It's just not very good. So we'll skip all these. I think we want like these 5 cards. What sucks? I think Dress Down is dookie. I mean, maybe on the play we'll take it just so we can try to Turbo Phlage them, but on the draw I don't think so. And then I think like Wrath of the Skies is fine. I think Invert Polarity sucks. I think Wrath of the Skies is like fine at best. We're probably supposed to like trim a Tune, trim a Wrath of the Skies, plus like trim Teferi. I don't think Teferi is like super good in this matchup. I could be wrong, but we're gonna try this. Well, we're here for game 2, but my opponent, they just did. I've been waiting for a couple of minutes and they didn't say keep or not keep, which I was like, oh, are they just gonna concede off of tilt? But it looks like no. This hand has one of my sideboard cards in it. The Wrath of the Skies is pretty weak, but Discharge is all right. I think we're gonna keep this based off of just Drannith Magistrate. It means awkwardly we probably want to lead on. Well, I guess we can use Flooded Strand to fetch for Raugrin Triome, then play Arena of Glory and drop Drannith Magistrate, and that's probably fine. I think we'll keep. Sacred Foundry tapped. Sure, Migo. Soul Guide Lantern's pretty cool. I don't think they can go off next turn, so I don't think I need to play the Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, let's play Flooded Strand and pass. Sunbait Canyon. Do we see a Medallion? We see a Ren's Resolve, just a naked Ren's Resolve, kind of weird. We got a Silence and a Reckless Impulse. Okay, I'm gonna drop this Drannith Magistrate and see what happens. Fetch, Raugrin Triome, that way I have my colors. Migo. Counterspell's kind of an awkward draw, but we'll play Arena of Glory. Tap for white, tap for red. Here's Drannith Magistrate. Go. Tap for 2, play a Rail. Yeah, you've got a Rail, dude. Sacred Foundry, shock it. Tapped. Pass to me. Okay, I can bolt that Rail. Wait, what is Rail? A 1-4? Nope, just a 1-3. And we draw a Hallowed Fountain, so that's like insane. Shock that into play. Tap for red. Galvanic Discharge, targeting Rail. Pay 1, 2, 3 energy, kill the Rail, go to combat, attack for 1. I'm not sure how they're supposed to win from here. Now I've got Counterspell up too. That seems really tough. Okay, opponent, go. Rail. I think this one's a pretty good one to hit with this little Counterspell in my hand. Okay, that's all you got, huh? Luckily, Drannith is not symmetrical, so I can use Snapcaster Mage to do things like Flashback Counterspell. Yeah, your opponents can't, so it's not symmetrical. So I guess I'll just put my opponent on a 17-turn clock with this Drannith Magistrate. Attack. I could just like Phlage them, but I'm just not in a rush to do anything. Like their deck's kind of all in on one plan, and I've got a hate piece out. Once I draw my 5th land, I'll play Soul Guide Lantern and continue to hold up Snapcaster plus Counterspell. Tap for 2. Rail. All right. Fetch. I guess I'd like to be able to escape the Phlage. And I need a 3rd blue source. So red from Raugrin and Arena, white from Hallowed Fountain, and I guess it would just be, well, I could get red-blue, right? Because then I could go white from Fountain, white from Raugrin, red from Arena, red from Steam Vents. Yep, sure could. Shock that bad boy into play. Tap for blue, tap for red, tap for blue. Cast Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster, target Counterspell. This does triple my clock as well, which we love to see. All right, now I will cast this Counterspell, targeting Rail, tapping for a blue and a blue. Okay, sorry, opponent. Well, I guess now I'll just do everything. Here is my red for a Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern triggers. I guess I'll take this Ren's Resolve out of your graveyard. Go to combat, attack for 3, bring it to 13, and then let's do a Phlage. Love Phlage. Hello. Phlage trigger face. All right, they're at 10. I'm at 17. They're on a 4-turn clock. All right, let's see if they can find a way to win from here. Crack Sunbait Canyon is not a strong start. Tap for 2, cast Metamorphose. Great. And looks like they're passing the turn and letting their mana flow away. That's not ideal. I can't imagine. Draw for turn. It's a Solitude. Great. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Just try to get this game over with as fast as possible. Ruby Storm, on the other hand, I actually don't have a problem with this deck because they do kind of do the solitaire thing, but the way Storm does it is, they don't have this like crazy inevitable but non-deterministic route. There's ways to shut down their solitaire, and there's ways to hate them out. Nadu, you know how hard it is to hate Nadu out? It's like impossible, but this deck I don't mind as much. They pass to me. I draw Force of Negation. That's useful, I guess. Attack for 3. You go 4, and you take your turn. They fetched, so now they're just dead to my board. They're also dead to an escaped Phlage. So if they, depending what they do, a line I have access to is like, pitch cast my Solitude, target just nothing. That'll put Solitude in the bin, and then I can crack my Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card, or to exile Graveyard, doesn't matter which. And then I can escape the Phlage, and that's lethal as well. They put Wish into their bin, because that doesn't do anything here. Tap for 2. What are we doing? Ruby? Metamorphose? Who cares? Metamorphose is fine. Cast Silence? I mean, I guess. Yeah, if you got something, you got something, buddy. Silence is fine. I can still Soul Guide. Oh, Phlage is your line. Okay. Phlage hit Drannith. Drannith die. I think I'm going to exert my Phlage on you on my turn. Let's go ahead and crack the Soul Guide Lantern to exile each opponent's graveyard. And yeah, I can just escape the Phlage that way, so I think the game's just over. Untap, draw. Okay, exert Arena of Glory, paying a red, and also pay white and white. Let's escape this Phlage. White, yep, they see it. We escape the Phlage, comes into play, triggers, deals 3 to them. I attack, it triggers, deals 3 to them. They're dead, but if they weren't dead, they'd be taking 8 after that, and 6 plus 8 is 14. Let's go to game 3, or round 3. All right, found our 3rd round opponent, and we get to be on the play this time. Our deck doesn't care as much about play draw, but you just generically, you'd prefer to be on the play. This hand kind of sucks. 5 lands, Counterspell, Galvanic Discharge. Elegant Parlor in the hand, we're gonna have to play it late just to enable the Counterspell. And then Scalding Tarn and Arid Mesa, I guess, can start surveilling. Like, we're not missing our land drops. Technically, we've got something to do on 1 and 2. Maybe we just keep this and try to like set up for a Phlage. The control imp in my head is saying, keep it, you're gonna make every land drop. I'm gonna listen to the control imp today. Will we get punished? Likely. Off Scalding Tarn, I think we're slotted to get the Thundering Falls first to set up Galvanic Discharge. And we just want to find like rings, Phlages, stuff like that. Because we can handle the first couple turns of the game. Go opponent. Thundering Falls tapped. Maybe is it Wizards? Maybe it's a mirror match? Maybe it's Creativity. Which I think I'm going to play on MTGO soon. I love Creativity and I like going back to it, even if it's not in the best spot right now. All right, let's fetch a Scalding Tarn, grab a Thundering Falls, check the top card of my deck. If it's a land, it's going right to the bin. But it's a Spell Snare, could be good. If this is Wizards, maybe it's not that good. Spell Snare can counter Counterspell. That's kind of it. This is creative. No, I think the Spell Snare kind of sucks, actually. I'm going to put it into the graveyard. All right, me go. Counterspell number 2 is Welcome. Let's play Arid Mesa and just ship the turn. Spire Bluff, so I'm guessing Wizards. There's just a hardcast Ragavan. Sure. So we could Galvanic Discharge that here. I think we don't need to because we're playing around Spell Pierce here. So let's fetch and grab a Meticulous Archive. So maybe this is just straight up Murktide. Could be. Our Meticulous Archive shows me a Phlage. You love to be in the graveyard, Phlage. Get in there. All right, Migo. Take a draw to Snip Snap. That's also pretty good. I want to play this island, so when I go to Galvanic Discharge, I can pay the Spell Pierce. Or if my opponent has a Counterspell, I can just Counterspell the Counterspell. And if they win the war, we're slotted to untap and Snip Snap. Maybe flashback Galvanic Discharge. Notably, we played the island, so we can't, escape Phlage immediately. But in this matchup, we're unlikely to anyway, especially considering that this Snapcaster Mage is going to start to empty our graveyard. And we've got all these counterspells, so like having as much blue in play as possible, I think is just a good idea. All right, they go to combat. They go to attacks. They attack for 2. I tap for red. I Galvanic Discharge. I target the monkey. They consider a response? Sure. That's not what I care about right now. All right, they just drew a card with their consider. Sure. I will pay 1 energy and kill Ragavan. Dragon's Channeler. I will shoot my shot at a counterspell on DRC. No thanks. Cool. Another DRC? Sure. Migo? Migo. All right, Flooded Strand is interesting. I need to think about this turn a little bit. I am certainly concerned about them resolving a Murktide since I don't currently have an out for it. I think I just want to put Parlor into play. I guess, yeah, I'll just put Parlor into play. I'm cool taking a hit off of this Darcy. And then I'm just going to chill and hold this Counterspell up. I don't have any other Surveil lands to fetch for, because I've already got Thundering Falls and Meticulous Archive. And I kind of know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a Solitude or something at this point. So let's just jam the Parlor. Trigger the Parlor. Our top card's a One Ring. Okay, we'll leave that on top. We'll try to force some action out of our opponent at the end of their turn. We might even like protect the One Ring by like escaping Phlage first or something. We'll see what they do though. All right, they cast Preordain. That is fine. Unholy Heat to the bin. They do have a Delirious Darcy. I am comfortable taking 3 off of it right now. But if they don't do anything else with their turn, I'm happy to Snapcaster at their end step and try to take out the DRC. Snip Snap. How do you feel about that? Snapcaster triggers. He targets Galvanic Discharge. Okay. I would very much like to Galvanic Discharge your DRC, please. Paying a red. Do you have a spell? Pierce? They do. All right, I wonder if they have a second one. I think we just do have to try to resolve the ring. I think that's our play. So we're going to go Flooded Strand. Tap these manas. If they have second Spell Pierce, they just have second Spell Pierce, I think. Of course you do. Okay, now we're going to start to lean back on Phlage. Next turn when we cast Phlage, we'll be able to back it up with Counterspell. But the next thing we're really looking for is a Solitude, because it's getting close to Murktide time, which is going to be problematic. We will not attack with Snapcaster because we want to block Ragavan if they have it. So we'll just pass the turn. They make a land drop. Looks like they're going to attack us for 3. We're going to fetch for like a blue source. It's probably supposed to be, it'll be tapped something. Do you want to get Raugrin Triome? It might just be Raugrin. Yeah, we'll grab a, you know what? Do we want to cycle this later? No, I don't think we're going to have time. We'll grab Raugrin Triome. Just make our mana as yummy as it can be. Go to my turn. Subtlety's pretty cool. I'm going to shock this into play. I'm going to tap for white, red, red. Escape the Phlage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll leave Counterspell in there just because they can, you can flash it back with Snapcaster. Not that it really matters because like my one Snapcaster is in play, but they don't know I only play one. Counterspell. I'll let the DRC trigger resolve. Okay, blue, Counterspell your Counterspell. Do you have Spell Pierce, Counterspell, Counterspell? Probably can't beat that. All right, Phlage. That's sure. Okay, Phlage. All right, Phlage triggers. Kill DRC. Unholy Heat, what, Phlage? That's fine. All right, Phlage goes to the graveyard again. But I still get to eat up your DRC. And I think I'll continue holding the Snapcaster back just for Ragavan purposes. This is the point where my opponent goes, Expressive Iteration. Right? Or Murktide would be good. Nope, there's the Iteration. Cool. Bauble enters Exiled Zone. They play a Misty, so they've only got 1 unknown. If it's a Murktide, that sucks, but we have a few outs to them just having Murktide here. Who did they bauble? Targeting themselves? Makes sense, and they didn't fetch, so I think they like whatever's on top. Migo, bauble trigger, you draw. Draw Phlage. I'm going to hold that for now. Just because I can like Subtlety a Murktide, but if I go for this Phlage, I'll be down too much mana. So we'll attack for 2, because I can also Subtlety Ragavan. So now I'm a little bit more comfortable getting my clock going, and then I'll just pass the turn. Scalding Tarn, do nothing. Okay, are they holding infinite permission? Me draw, Scalding Tarn, play it, go to combat, attack for 2, bring you to 15, go to main phase 2. I think I'm just going to cast a Phlage. Like that. Phlage. Trigger the Phlage, hit you, we'll switch life totals. Alright, go. And then fetch will put me at 5 in the graveyard total, meaning I'll need just 1 more to escape a Phlage. In the old days, the blue-white Murktide matchup was really favored for blue-white, primarily because of cards like Chalice of the Void, which are no longer that good. However, I think Phlage is also problematic, at least game 1 for Murktide, just because their removal is all destruction-based, not exile-based. And the Phlage is the snack that smiles back every single time, every 3 turns or so, it keeps coming back into play. At some point, you gotta have a Murktide here, right? Dash Ragavan. I think we'll just go for Hardcast Subtlety. If you counter it, I'll just Phlage you. Let's go. I think a Mountain's fine here. I don't want to take too much damage. All right, cast, tap for blue, whatever. If they counter this, we don't care because then they're down a counterspell and I can Phlage them, which is obviously insane. They're going to counterspell it, sure. So now they have to have another counterspell for this Phlage, and that will kill them very quickly. And even if they have it, the Phlage just goes back to the bin. And now that they have Monkey, I can start to hold up the Snapcaster again. Obviously, we don't want them to hit, like, Teferi. The One Ring sucks too, but, like, I don't think they can cast it this turn, so no sweat. Looks like they just put a land away for us, which is great. All right, they concede. Perfect. Okay, we get to be on the draw for game 2. I think Soul Guide's very good. I could see Teferi being good. I think Drannith sucks. I think Wrath of the Skies is, like, fine. They're not going that wide. I don't think I need to play 4. So I'll just leave the 3 that I have in the main there. Consign to Memory, blows. Dress Down, it's, like, fine-ish. I think it's pretty bad, actually. Mystical Dispute, maybe I want that. I don't want Obsidian Charmaw. I don't think I want Subtlety. Force of Negation's, like, I'm on the fence about. It could be good, probably not that great. I think on the draw with the mana advantage, like, Sink into Stupor is probably kind of medium. So I'll put that there. Let's put that there. If I have, like, a 4th thing to cut, maybe I want the Force of Negation, but I'm not gonna force it in. You know what? I'm pretty sure I actually don't want this. I'll just take the Dispute, the Teferi, the Soul Guide Lantern. So I'll bring out Sink into Stupor. I'll bring out Invert Polarity, could actually be pretty cool. Maybe I should leave that in just for, like, Murktides and stuff. I could see losing Attune the Narrative. And you know what? Maybe I just, like, don't care about this Teferi either. You know what? I'm going to drop Sink into Stupor and Tune the Narrative for Mystical Dispute and Soul Guide Lantern. I feel like my main board's pretty well set up. Something to keep in mind is we need to be careful about fetching next game, because they're probably a Blood Moon deck. We do have 2 planes, but we need to aggressively get our planes so our Wrath of the Skies can wipe a Blood Moon. All right, this hand is Spell Snare, Tune the Narrative, Wrath of the Skies, 4 lands. Did they keep? They began with 7. If they open on Ragavan, this hand is dookie. Because we don't have a single target removal spell. If we were on the play, we'd keep this because Snare is so good. We'd only have to take 1 hit from Ragavan because of this Wrath of the Skies. But since we're on the draw, I think we can just safely mulligan. This hand has Galvanic Discharge. It's uncastable at the moment because we have an Arena of Glory. We've got Soul Guide Lantern, Force of Negation. I think we're supposed to keep this and pitch the Force of Negation, to be honest. And we still get hit pretty hard by Ragavan, but we could pitch the Solitude, but, like, draw, if they do Ragavan us and we just draw a white card, we can pitch cast a Solitude, and if we just draw fetch land, we can Galvanic Discharge. So I think, like, the weirdly worst card in our hand is Force. All right, you're up, opponent. There is a fail state here, and it's that they open on Ragavan and we were just never able to dig out from underneath it. Because the Arena of Glory coming into play tapped, and then them being able to counterspell my Galvanic Discharge on a Ragavan is going to be detrimental. Mishra's Bobble's fine. So they go Bobble. They're going to Bobble me. They didn't open on D or C, so if they kept their opener, they have to have a Ragavan, I think. But they don't do anything, which is interesting. All right, you draw off Mishra's Bobble. I draw a Teferi. That pitches to Solitude. I'll just play Arena of Glory and pass. Consider, sure. You go. Island, we dashin'? Looks like no. So we just get to, like, put an island into play and pass? Do we want to put a Soul Guide Lantern into play? I think so. If they want to counterspell / Spell Snare Soul Guide Lantern, so be it. Okay, we have one. Soul Guide Lantern triggers, we'll take out the Consider. Maybe Bobble was better for Delirium reasons, but I think it's just fine. We might, if we don't find a land on our next draw step, we probably have to crack the Lantern to draw a card anyway. Steam Vents, are we shocking? Okay. Blood Moon? Okay, Blood Moon is gonna have to be fine. So it's gonna take us some time to dig out from under this, but they don't have any pressure, and we still have, like, Solitude pitch plus a Discharge in our hand. But we will just sacrifice this and draw a card, because we're looking for our basic planes now. Like, any of our basic planes. One of them should be good enough to set up Prismatic Ending. So we'll play Scalding Tarn, and we have Galvanic Discharge, which is great, so we'll just pass. Land numero 4, dash a Ragavan. Sure, that's fine. Go to attacks. I'm gonna discharge the crap out of that monkey. No, that's a bad monkey. All right, we pay an energy. All right, pass to me. Great. Land, please. Well, it's kind of like a white source. We'll just play the Sacred Foundry and pass. Having the island's nice. I didn't actually catch whether this plays an Otawara or not, because that's another potential out. It looks like our opponent's not doing anything, which is fine. Meticulous Archive, pass. They're giving us lots of time to draw out of this. Now, given the chance that we draw, like, a basic planes is, like, very, very low, but we've still got this pitch cast Solitude, so that's fine. Okay, you pass to me. Bobble, you draw. Me draw for turn. 1 ring. I could play it. I think I'm just gonna keep drawing cards and making them take game actions, though. The only counterspell they could have is Spell Pierce. I get Force of Negation too, but if I just wait to draw my 6th land, I can pay for a Spell Pierce. They're under their own Blood Moon, so their counterspells aren't something they have access to. Dash a Ragavan? Sure, dude. I'm going to pitch cast this Solitude so they can't make more blue mana. All right, Ragavan, cast by exiling a card. I'm actually going to exile Prismatic Ending. I know that I could Prismatic the Blood Moon, but I have this Scalding Tarn into play. Well, I guess no. Maybe it was better to pitch it the other way, because I could use Teferi to bounce the Blood Moon. But the idea is to fetch for the white source, so it doesn't matter, so Wrath of the Skies can hit it. But we actually aren't set up for that right now, because our fetch only gets basic island, which is already in play. Consign to memory? Well, they're using their blue. Maybe that's their only way to deal with the ring, so we might be okay-ish. Okay. Well, you've consigned the Solitude's trigger. Connect with Rags. Make treasure. Alright. Is that it? Migo? Alright, 1 land, please. Don't have consign, please, opponent. Alright, Tarn. Let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The One Ring. Consider. So they're probably digging for Force of Negation. Alright, how about this One Ring? Do you have Force? No? I just have a One Ring? Great. Alright, I'll wait to draw. I guess I'll just draw now. Doesn't really make a big difference. We're just digging real hard for any white source. Looks like they're passing to us, so we're gonna get to draw 2 off the ring. And I would also just start taking like Galvanic Discharges would be fine. Here's just a straight up Plains though. We'll draw 2 first. Play Plains. What if we just play this Teferi and tick it up? Huh. It's interesting. Now let's see what they got. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 and just drop this Teferi. We'll see what they do first. All right, they don't do anything. I'm actually just gonna get the Blood Moon out of play temporarily, so I can. I actually need to think about this. I wonder if the Blood Moon being in play just isn't that bad for me right now. It's tricky. I don't really want to let them unlock blue. I can use Subtlety and pitch Counterspell to deal with the Ragavan. They do have a creature in the bin, so yeah, let's go ahead and tick this Teferi. I could tick it down and retoggle the One Ring. But no, I don't think I need to do that. I'm actually just going to tick this Teferi up and see what they got. Because they can't Unholy Heat my Teferi. And I can pitch cast this Subtlety to deal with the Dashavan. Alright, we already know there's a Ragavan in the bin, so I think I'm just going to do that. Cast by exile and Counterspell. Subtlety. No thank you. They could like Expressive Iteration, then dash it, but then they're like out of mana. This is a weird spot, because this deck, once I have access to, once I get my second white, I actually stop caring about the Blood Moon in the first place. Where'd they put the Ragavan? On top? Okay. Well. On tap. Take 2. Draw. Draw 3. This will let me get my second white source, so let's go minus Teferi on Blood Moon. Play Flooded Strand. I guess I Phlage them, right? White, blue, red. Phlage. Phlage trigger, deal face. Swap life totals. And then I can just let the Blood Moon resolve. All I have to do is go grab myself a basic Plains with Flooded Strand. I don't even need to do that. I just literally have Prismatic Ending as well. So I'm not sure what they can do here. Unholy Heat Teferi. Sure. It's dead. Fetch, you got it. Murktide, Murky Murk. Let's go ahead and fetch for a Plains. There's my Plains. Then we're going to fetch for any Surveil land that I see. Let's do an Elegant Parlor. No, yeah, no. I've already got a Sacred Foundry. I don't have any Izzet lands. Let's go grab a Thundering Falls. I'm going to see if I can find an answer to this Murktide on the top, and if there is, I will leave it and then tune. This is not, so we'll put that into the bin. Then I will tune the narrative. All right, not so much. No such luck, but we'll let this Murktide resolve. Looks like that's all our opponent's doing, so I'm going to fetch again. Let's grab a tapped Raugrin Triome. Migo. Take 3 off the ring. Draw a card. Just drew the Solitude, so that's the out to the Murktide. Draw 4. Multiple copies of the One Ring. Uh-oh, opponent, sorry. Let's go ahead and... I guess we're just going to force a ring into play, right? Let's zap in this Steam Vents. And go white, white, blue, whatever. And play the One Ring. Try to run their hand out. We're not going to play the second one right away. We'll see if they counterspell this. All right, that's a counterspell. Now we're going to actually pay a blue and dispute the counterspell. And then if they have like, well, I don't know what they could have. They could Spell Pierce, but then I'm just paying it, so who cares? The One Ring. Okay, I'll keep the new one. I'll get protection from everything. I have 4 energy. What if I just try to kill this Murktide with a Galvanic Discharge? I'm gonna do that. Galvanic. Unholy Heat deals 6, and that's cool, but Galvanic Discharge can deal 7. All right, 1 mana removal spell for your Murktide. Sorry, dude. Pass. Ooh, I'm gonna move myself up a little bit. I just realized you can't see my beautiful One Ring. That's unacceptable. Unlicensed Hearse. Kind of don't want that to happen, right? Because of my Phlages. I'm just gonna counterspell it. And if they like Spell Snare, yeah, that's fine. They Spell Snare my Counterspell. I'm just gonna Prismatic Ending this Hearse because I have 2 more Phlages and it really doesn't matter that much. They have to activate it now because when I have priority, I can just put Phlage on the stack. And then it's no longer in the graveyard to even be targeted by the Hearse. Okay, you got my Ring and my Phlage. Would you like to play Blood Moon? Nope. Your Blood Moon kind of sucks, huh? All right, at end step, I will draw a card. We go my turn. Me lose a life and draw another card. All right, I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Look at all these cards. We'll play Flooded Strand, and then I will just take this opportunity to Prismatic Ending the Unlicensed Hearse. No more Hearse for you. I guess I should have paid an extra just to play around Spell Snare. Hopefully I don't get bit for that. They have Counterspell, so my Spell Snare works there. Blue, Spell Snare, Counterspell. Okay, no more of that. Thank you. I guess we'll cast Tune the Narrative now just to see what we hit. A Counterspell? Sure. All right, we're gonna pass the turn. End step, probably fetch for a Hallowed Fountain. We've got this Solitude. I might even Counterspell Expressive Iteration just to like maintain my advantage. I don't want them to get like any further ahead. Ragavan is fine. I'll Dress Down. No more haste. Me draw. Another Solitude. Do your thing. All right, Ragavan's trigger goes on the stack, so does Dress Downs. I'll fetch in response to all of it. I'll grab Hallowed Fountain. It comes in tapped. All right. Now that Ragavan dash ability is attached to it's not attached to the Ragavan itself, so it doesn't lose that ability, thankfully. Dress Down works in our favor there. We'll take 2 damage to the One Ring. You got Bolt opponent. I'm gonna draw 3 cards. All right, there's another Phlage. Let's cast it. I guess I could like Phlage. So yeah, let's go blue, white, red. Phlage. Phlage trigger, hit you. And then let's tap for red by adding red. And we'll go white. Yeah, they see it. We're just gonna escape the Phlage. Okay, well Murktide's always been a good matchup, so that's no real shocker. But let's go ahead and hop into round number 4. All right, found opponent number 4. We get the play, which is great. One Ring, Counterspell, Wrath of the Skies. We can't deal with a 1-drop here, but we can go right into Counterspell. I think we're opening on Thundering Falls, which makes the Wrath a little awkward, but we don't have any extra energy for the Wrath off of a Tune the Narrative or Galvanic Discharge anyway, so we're gonna keep this hand. All right, here's Thundering Falls. Phlage to the graveyard, thank you. Great turn 1, go. Please don't Ragamonkey me. Felmire, are we playing against the mono black Soul Spike deck? That would be unfortunate. All right, me go. Draw, Solitude, great. Flooded Strand, pass turn, hold up Counterspell. Another Felmire, tapped, sure. Go to end step, and I will fetch this time for a Meticulous Archive. We want to fill this graveyard up fast for the Phlage. There's the Archive. What's going on top of my deck right now? Tune the Narrative. Kind of good with the Wrath of the Skies. All things considered, I've got nothing else to do with my mana anyway, so I actually will take this just to build up energy. Tap, draw for turn, get this Tarn, pass the turn. Tap Malakir Mire, sure. All right, so we're gonna do a trick here. We want to cast Tune the Narrative. We would like to not draw the Surveil land, but we also don't want to Surveil before we draw. So you've seen this trick before, but for anyone who doesn't fully understand it, we'll fetch. We're gonna go grab our Surveil land. In this case, it's Elegant Parlor. So we'll put that into play tapped with its trigger on the stack. Now that it's out of our deck and we can't draw it off Tune the Narrative, we'll tap for a blue and we'll cast Tune. Draw Wrath of the Skies, and then we get to Surveil. Sink into Stupor's like, fine. I think it's not quite what we're looking for, so we'll put it into the graveyard. Set up that Phlage to be as good as possible. Me go. All right. I could Phlage our opponent here, but like, I just want to get this One Ring into play, right? Let's go Arena of Glory, tap for red, white, blue, the One Ring. Get protection from everything. Go ahead. And they could Necro us, but their Soul Spikes like don't have any targets. And then we can Wrath of Skies the Necro too, so they'll just go like downing cards. Phyrexian Tower, sure. Do we have a Shieldred? Bogart Trawler. Exile target player's graveyard? Ew. I mean, yeah, it works, but ew. There goes my poor Phlage. What? Oh, they exiled their own graveyard? Why would they do that? Well, whatever. I'll draw a card. You want to sacrifice your Bogart Trawler to Bowmaster, that's your prerogative. All right, on tap, I'll lose a life. I'll go to 17. Raugrin Triome's cool. I'm going to draw 2 cards. There's a Phlage. Let's go ahead and play Scalding Tarn. I don't know why they didn't take out my Phlage. I can escape my Phlage, but I can't hold up Counterspell, and I kind of value that. So I think I'll actually just tap this for red, tap this for white, tap this for red. I'm gonna Phlage the Bogart Trawler. Trigger, if they want to sacrifice the Bogart Trawler to make 2 mana and deny us 3 life, we don't care. Go for it. That resolves. You've sacrificed Bogart Trawler. Phlage goes to my bin. You're up, opponent. Takanuma, tap for 1, 2, 3. Shield of the Apocalypse is a pretty cool card. I will Solitude that. I'm actually not interested in using a Counterspell on it. Pass to me. I'm going to exile a Wrath of this guy's to Solitude it. I guess I'll fetch first. Doesn't really matter. We'll grab Hallowed Fountain tapped, and then cast by exiling a white card. It'll be this Wrath of the Skies. Solitude comes in, hits the Shieldred. All right, they concede. That was a really weird game from that deck. Normally that deck does a lot more, but they just kind of didn't do anything. All right, I don't think we want Drannith Magistrate. I don't think we want an additional Wrath of the Skies. Consign the Memory seems like medium. Dress Down seems medium. Subtlety could be pretty good. I could see Force of Negation and Subtlety being good. Not so much Dispute. Definitely not Obsidian Charmaw. Teferi seems like medium at best. Yeah, I don't think we have very much sideboard tech. We'll just bring in our blue free spells to fight their free spells. And then what do we want to lose? Do they have a ton of 2-drops? I wonder if Spell Snare is even playable. Maybe I'm just supposed to ditch the Spell Snares. I think like Profane Tutor technically costs 2, and I could Spell Snare that, but that seems like very medium. I think I'll just, yeah, we'll trim those and bring in Force of Negation and Subtlety. Okay, me play. Or no, me draw. I won game 1. Me draw. Tune the narrative, Counterspell, Wrath of the Skies. Hand's like not great, but I've got a Counterspell for their first Necro. And if they have Scam, they always have Scam, so I don't want to like mulligan decent hand when they could just like open on Grief Scam me. Malakir Meyer tap, sure. Okay, pass to me, I draw, it's a Solitude, that's kind of neat. Scalding Tarn, pass to you. We're just going to Surveil and set up holding up Counterspell as soon as possible. Probably Surveil with like a Thundering Falls on this one. Swamp, Profane Tutor. You know what Spell Snare counters? It's actually Orcish Bowmasters. I need to take a look at that deck and see what else it counters. We'll fetch. We'll grab a Thundering Falls. We'll get a Surveil in. Raugrin Triome's not what we want. We'll grave that. My turn. We'll draw a Snapcaster. That's kind of cool. Here's a Floody Boy, and then we'll pass. Profane Tutor loses a counter for Suspend. Tap Malakir Meyer. Now we're going to do the Tune the Narrative thing here. Notably, the Orcish Bowmaster is going to make that a big pain in the ass, but we just have to at some point make this play anyway. So we're going to do the same play we did last time of fetching. This time we're going to get Elegant Parlor, or sorry, Meticulous Archive. And that thing's going to put a trigger to Surveil on the stack. I'm going to tap for blue and Tune, and if they want to deal 2 damage to move the Bowmaster, so be it. I've got Wrath of the Skies to clean up the board later. There's the Bowboy. That resolves. I'm not going to pitch cast a Solitude or anything. I'm just going to take my lumps here. All right, I draw. I get 2 energy. Your Bowmaster sees that. Tings me down to 16. And then we get to Surveil. Prismatic Ending's cool. But with the texture of our hand, I think it's just like unnecessary. Put that into the graveyard. Me go. Now here, another Prismatic Ending, sure. I mean, I guess I'll take it because I have to. Here, we're not going to be casting Tune until we deal with Orcish Bowmasters, but we're not going to be casting Wrath until we can hold up Counterspell at the same time, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put in Sacred Foundry tapped, and we're just going to brace for impact because they're about to resolve Profane Tutor. We'll see what that means. Because if they think if they think their play is going to be to like, maybe they already have the Necro Dominance and they want to go get Grief to check me out first, I can go ahead and Counterspell the Grief, let them resolve Necro Dominance, and then use Wrath of the Skies to just wipe the entire board. All right, you have a Profane Tutor, that's fine. And if they go grab the Necro Dominance and do nothing, like I don't know. I guess I'll Counterspell it. They go to combat, they attack for 3, I go to 13. That's pretty good. Because then I'll go to 11, shock and Steam Vents, and try to Wrath of the Skies you. Spymaster's Vault, sure. There's the Grief. This Grief we're going to Counterspell. No thank you. If you have a Not Dead After All, I would like it to be a dead card. This means they're going to follow up with Necro, and they're probably going to pay some life and draw some cards. If they find a ton of Soul Spikes, we're in danger. But this, oh, it's a 1 ring. Forgot about that card. I forgot they get to do that. What do we do now? I was so expecting a Necro Dominance. Okay, they passed us. We are just a 3-color deck, so our Prismatic Ending can't actually ever knock out a One Ring, unfortunately. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do here. Let's play Arid Mesa. That's probably supposed to go get Elegant Parlor. We're gonna go ahead and deal with the Orcs, I think. Yeah, let's do that. White. And now that I know they're a One Ring deck, I might consider bringing in a couple Consigns as well. White. I want to hold up 2 in the narrative. So yeah, let's go ahead and cast Wrath of the Skies. Paying white. Done. Pay 1/2. Okay. And then pass to you, opponent. One Ring pings ya. Tap the One Ring to draw cards. I like it. The Mick Windsauce playing Prismatic Ending in this deck's kind of weird. Because like I just wish that I had access to like one off color so I could use Prismatic Ending M4. Because if I was like a domain deck, I would have just dealt with the One Ring and been in a fine spot. So I just don't know how I like Prismatic Ending in this deck in general. I think Prismatic Ending is just so much better in when you have access to all 5 colors, because then you can hit most threats. You know, anything that's not like Archon attracts like Grizzlebrand or Murktide. Grief me. Okay, Grief's good. All right, they take Solitude, so are we not dead after alling? No. Tap 4 for Shielded. Well, we're gonna do the trick. Let's fetch. We don't need to find it this turn, we need to find it next turn, which means we'll put the Surveil on the stack and do what we normally do. We want to draw before Shielder comes into play, right? That way we don't take an extra 2. All right, we find Solitude. Okay, Surveil. Galvanic Discharge. I don't know if I want this. Let's put it in the bin. I think I'm just going to hardcast this Solitude. All right, comes into play. Migo. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Take 1 from Shielder. Find my own copy of the One Ring. Maybe I jam that and just exile and pitch cast the Solitude now. I think so, right? Put this into play, tapped. Solitude, exile this Prismatic Ending. Solitude come into play. Solitude take care of Shielded. They gain a bunch of life, but now we're at least at parity with the rings. All right, ring. Now my job is to find just so many Phlages. Draw. Okay, go. Ring, spank you. Tap ring, draw 3. We're doing it, opponent. We're ringing. Land, tap 1/2. Bowmaster. Necro Dominance, there it is. All right, I wonder how much they're going to pay for their Necro. This Snapcaster really wants to flashback Counterspell and stop them from re-upping on the ring. All right, looks like they go down to 18 and draws 3 cards. They're going to have to go to discard now, and they're discarding into their exile pile. Okay, my One Ring triggers, and I take an amount of damage, 2. And they pitch, looks like March and Malakir Rebirth. Yeah, just March and Malakir Rebirth. Okay, that's a sink into Stupor that I can use to deal with the One Ring. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and activate the One Ring here. Draw 2 cards. See if they got a Bowmaster. Nope, there's a Phlage, and that's kind of cool. Let's go Island. Let's Phlage our opponent. White, blue, whatever. We'll go red. Phlage. And then Phlage can ping your face. And I think I'll hold this sink into Stupor to just like try to stop them from doing anything on the stack, actually. Because them taking 3 off the ring's pretty good. I think I'm just going to try to stop them from casting Shielded or another ring. They'll take 3 in their upkeep here, go to 12. Draw 4 cards off the One Ring, that's fine. Land, sure. Inquisition of Kozilek. Let's go ahead and... Well, I guess that just resolves, huh? Yeah, you got it. They're going to take our sink into Stupor. In an ideal world, they don't just resolve Shielded here. Though if they do, I can Snapcaster Galvanic Discharge it. So that's actually no sweat. So we really just don't want to see One Ring number 2. All right, they took Snapcaster. They're going to Inquisition again. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and... Do I want to use my sink into Stupor? If I do, it would be a Necro Dominance. But then they wouldn't have to go to discard. So maybe we just let this happen? Yeah, we just have to let this happen. Double Inquisition's a little tough. Shelly? Shelly would be brutal. Surgical Extraction Phlage, also brutal. Looks like they might be passing to us. I guess maybe they don't play Shield. Well, they may just not have Shielder. That seems kind of weird, though. You're going to draw some cards with Necro Dominance. It's kind of safe now that there's no Phlage, but you do have to, like... Ooh, you're going to 5? Could have, like, a bunch of Soul Spikes. If they have 3, I'm dead. Soul Spike me, you got it. You got 2 more of them bad boys. Soul Spike number 2. I'm at 4, you're at 13. Another one? Another one. Okay, they found 3. So we be on the play for game 3. Let's see here. I think Spell Snare is actually pretty good because of the Bowmasters. And it hits Profane Tutor as well. Not so much Drannith Magistrate, not so much Wrath, not so much Mystical Dispute, Dress Down. Consign the Memory might also be a consideration. Not all 3, but maybe just 2. Alright, so these 4. Probably drop a 2 in the narrative, maybe 2 of them just because of the Bowmasters. And I really don't need to aggressively Wrath of this guy as my opponent in this matchup. And I think Prismatic Ending is like fine. I guess it does just deal with the Necro dominance. That's not nothing. I think Dress Down actually kind of sucks though. And yeah, maybe we'll trim like 1 Prismatic Ending. Try something like this. Let's try something like this. All right, me play. Okay, opener looks like not bad. Having the basic planes with Counterspell is a little bit awkward, but we've got a Phlage, we've got a Teferi, we've got a Spell Snare. Scalding Tarn gets Thundering Falls. We try to secure land number 3, and if it's a blue source the Counterspell's on, we'll keep. All right, Scalding Tarn, go. And if they want to Grief Scam us, it's like kind of okay. We've got just like a generically good hand. Foulmire. Is it a Grief? All right, it looks like it's going to be Grief time. So Grief comes into play. You get to take my 2 best things. They never take Phlage, so they probably take like Counterspell plus Teferi. Or if let's say they have the Bowmaster, then it's maybe Counterspell plus Spell Snare. Wrath of the Skies would be a strange selection, I think. I guess they could take Phlage if they have a Surgical Extraction in their hand. That would be, unfortunately, very good. Our opponent sure is taking their sweet time trying to figure out how to Grief Scam us. Our hand's like, it's not really redundant, just every card's like decent. I wish I could like, well, I guess seeing their hand would be way too much. But if I could see their hand, I feel like it can't be that difficult. Rebirth, yep, that always happens. Grief is still in play. What would you like to take? He's back. What do you want now? All right, yep, Counterspell plus Spell Snare. That makes sense. Pass to me. Thundering Falls. Here I come. Look at the top card of my library. It's an Arid Mesa. I think I do want land number 3, so we'll put that right back on top. Migo. Arid Mesa. You're up, opponent. Then off the fetch with the Arid Mesa, we're probably slotted to get... I want a blue source just in case I tap deck a Counterspell, so it's probably like... Do I want double red? Yeah, it's not... I think it's just like Processes of Elimination brings us down to it being Meticulous Archive being pretty good. Land drop. You gotta have it. You can't keep like just Grief Scam 1 land in this matchup, I don't think. Just gives me like infinite time to draw out of it. Tap Malakir Mire. I suppose it's a land drop. Fetch. Meticulous Archive. Surveil. Invert Polarity is interesting. I, however, have a white, like a mono white source in my hand, so put that into the graveyard. Me draw. All right, so bummer. I probably looks like I should have got a red source because now I can't escape my Phlage. We could go to Teferi and tick it up because Phlaging hitting the Grief gets really weird if they have another Malakir Rebirth. That said, we're looking at Malakir Mire, Malakir Rebirth like this, and I don't know if they actually play Not Dead after all, but I still think I'm gonna just play around it. I'll put the plains into play. I'll go plains, island, mountain, Teferi, and I'm gonna go up with this Teferi, I think, and then pass the turn. All right, combat, attack Teferi for 3 with Grief. That was slotted. We knew that was gonna happen. So Teferi goes to 2. What now? Do you have the Necro? Go to 12, pay 3. It's Necro dominance, it's time. All right, pay a bunch of life, draw a bunch of cards. Go to 8, sure. Migo. They have to go to cleanup, they have to exile 2 from their hand. I wonder what they get rid of. Looks like Necro dominance and Profane Tutor. I just drew the 1 ring, that's really cool. Well, now my Teferi is awkward, right? Because if I tick it up, it just dies to the Grief. Because I could go tick up, shock and Hallowed Fountain 1 ring. Then Teferi dies to Grief. Maybe that's just fine. Maybe letting them focus on Teferi for a while is like a-okay with me. Also, they can't like regain their life by soul spiking a bunch. Because I'll have protection from everything. So, I don't know. Shock. The 1 ring. I'll take protection from everything. That sounds great. Let's draw a card off the 1 ring. It's a Flooded Strand. Sure. Pass to you, opponent. Now we just don't want to see Shieldred. That would suck. Go to combat. Attack Teferi for 3. Teferi die. Teferi sad. Foulmire. Tapped. What else you got, dude? I do love all the modal double face cards this deck gets to play. It's really cool. They haven't played a single basic. all of their lands are also spells. And like a deck like Mono Black getting to do that, I don't know. I think it's really cool. Like this is a deck, people are saying it's broken, and maybe it's just because I've only played against this like 1 or 2 times. So maybe I haven't seen all the messed up stuff it can do. And I know it's good with soul spikes and stuff, but I mean, this deck seems like, I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker for drawing cards and that's why I don't hate it. But like watching this deck do its thing, it seems just so much less awful than some of the other stuff that's going on right now. The Grief is the big hang up I have with this deck. Grief should be banned. But next to Nadu, Grief is, I'll play against Grief all day if it means I don't have to play against Nadu, or watch people play Nadu, or hear about Nadu. I wonder how many cards they draw off the Necro here. It's got to be less than 5, otherwise they just die to my Phlage, and that would be not ideal. All right, they draw 2. No, it looks like 3, so they go to 5. They're going to have to exile 2 from their hand. They can't Soul Spike me. They lose Fel the Profane plus Necro Dominance. Cool. I'll take 1 off my One Ring. I draw a Galvanic Discharge. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and draw 2. If they want a Bowmaster in response, I'll discharge it. Then I'll Phlage the Grief, maybe? Maybe I just Phlage them. It's kind of hard to tell. All right, Bowmasters comes into play. Bowmasters, I will pay a red. I will Galvanic Discharge the Bowmaster. Luckily, I only have to pay 1 energy, so I can actually wipe the Necro Dominance and the Grief as well. So I'll pay a mana, or a energy, and then I'll take a point off the Orky Bows. The 1/1 comes into play. I draw 2 off the One Ring. That's an Arena of Glory, which comes into play untapped, which is just so good. And then, yeah, let's, instead of playing Phlage, let's just wipe the board, I guess. This, then this, then this. And that'll let me go up to 4 energy, and I can Wrath all this? Yeah. Cast Wrath. And then X will equal 3? No, 4, because I want to get rid of the Grief too. Okay. You are up, opponent. Just do not play Shieldred on my face. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. I don't believe I can beat that without like just top decking Solitude or something. All right, they play a Swamp, tap for 1, 2, 3. Bogart Trawler. That's pretty miserable for us. Well, no, I guess we have a Phlage in our hand. It's actually not that bad. They exile my graveyard. It's all gone. They pass to me. Okay, me draw. I take 2, go to 9. All right, let's draw 2 cards. Do you have another Orcish Bowmaster? All right, you don't. I draw another One Ring, which is like kind of good. Do I want to get subtle? Do I want to get the One Ring into play, or do I want to just Phlage them? If I get this One Ring into play, I can just hold up Subtlety and Force of Negation. I think that's just what we do, right? I think so. All right, here is the One Ring. I would definitely Phlage them if I thought, like, if it would kill them, but right now it's just not that good. So keep the One Ring, get protection from everything, play Floody, and then pass the turn, because they only have 3 in hand, and their spells are either creatures or they're not. So I've got everything covered, and all they did was Bogart Trawler us last turn. Interestingly, next turn, I can try to kill them. It's not particularly good. Okay, Necro Dominance. I kind of want to let this resolve, because if they just go to draw more than 1 card, I can kill them with Phlage. Also, I got a really interesting play I can make, where I fetch for some dual source and play Plains. Then I cast Phlage, targeting them. Then I exert Arena of Glory, leaving 2 blue up, and I cast a Subtlety with haste. I don't think that's crazy good, but it's probably fine. I'm going to draw a card off the One Ring before I let this Necro Dominance resolve, just to see what I see. It's a Consign to memory? Sure. Now I definitely let Necro Dominance come into play. All right. You going to do anything with that Necro? I guess I will fetch now. We'll grab Elegant Parlor. Tune the narrative's cool. I'm putting it into the bin, though. All right, what do you want to do with this Necro Dominance, dude? They go to 1. That's interesting. Are they just hoping to Soul Spike me twice? Because they're going to have to exile a card from their hand. Then they can only Soul Spike me twice. And I have this Force of Negation. I think our opponent's just dead. All right, yeah, they concede. They see it. Okay, what a grindy league this has been so far. But we're 4-0. Let's get into round 5 and see if we can trophy. All right, round 5, and we are on the play. We are just so lucky. So, yeah, winning the die roll means we play. This hand is Raugrin Triome, Snare, Counterspell, Subtlety, Tune, Teferi. I think so. We'll just lead on Raugrin Triome. And we're kind of dead in the water. Well, no, we got a Subtlety. So even if they open on Ragavan, we can Subtlety it if we have to. So we'll just keep this. We'll open on tapped Raugrin. Boop, play, go, Mesa, crack. Are we playing against Boros? Normally Boros shows you a Jigantha, so. Ocelot Pride. Well, I currently can't actually handle Ocelot Pride, so let's Subtlety it. That's going to go too wide, too fast. Exile Tune, Subtlety. Please stop. You can put it back up top if you want. They did. Cool. They'll just play it again, external counterspell it. Migo. Arena of Glory. That's cool. Play Flooded Strand and pass. Counterspell into Teferi seems fine, especially if they have double 1-drop. Guide of Souls, I will allow Guide of Souls. I want to counter the Ocelot Pride, I think. They fetch, go to 16. We're just, in this matchup, we're just looking for infinite copies of Wrath of the Skies. Godless Shrine, so it is Mardu Energy, which is, you know, worse for us than Boros Energy. They have a lot more game against us because of their Chthonian Nightmare game plan. I just built Mardu Energy for my buddy to play tomorrow at FNM, so Bobby, you're welcome. I want a second white. I've already got a red. Let's just grab a Hallowed Fountain and shock it in. And then go blue, blue, counterspell, the Ocelot Pride. Migo. There's a Solitude. Always welcome in this matchup. Red, white, blue, America. Teferi, get that out of here. Plains. Tap for 1. Guide of Souls. If they go wide and I just happen to draw Wrath, that's going to be insane. Orky Bow. Hate to see that. That's going to take care of the Teferi promptly. Bye, Teferi. All right, we just need to draw Wrath of the Skies. So fast. All right, that's not what that is, but we can play the Arid Mesa and get a Surveillance, so we'll just pass. We're going to clench for now. 3 a turn isn't that bad, and the Spell Snare can hopefully counter a Chthonian Nightmare or something. Ooh, they tap 3 for Phlage. That's not ideal. They're going to get an energy, so they'll be able to jump here. Okay, Phlage does Phlage things. Hit me hard. I wonder what they're going to jump. Probably Orc Army, if I had to take a guess. Although jumping Guide of Souls gets them out of the way of Galvanic Discharge targeting the Guide of Souls. They're only attacking with Orc Army, which is kind of weird. But that means they're definitely jumping Orc Army. Discharge can kill that if I need it to. They only got 2 in hand, so we're not dead in the water yet. But even if we do find Wrath of the Skies, we're going to have to deal with that Phlage. Luckily, we have a Solitude to try to help. White, white, red, red. We need a Thundering Falls, I think. Yeah, Thundering Falls. Show me the top card, please. It is a Scalding Tarn. Go to the graveyard. Migo. Force of Negation. Quite poor in this matchup. I'm not excited to see that. Let's shock in Sacred Foundry. It looks like we're on hard casting Solitude. Holding up like Force of Negation to try to deal with Chthonian Nightmare. They fetch, sure. Surveil. Here comes that Phlage. Okay, they left it on top, so they must really like it. Now, if they have... I don't know if they're going to have a removal spell here or not. They go Elegant Parlor tapped. So we'll see what they do. If they Ocelot Pride us. That's interesting. That is fine. You have an Ocelot Pride. Guide of Souls triggers. You gain a life. Tap 2. A Johnny. This, I think we need to Spell Snare. You don't know. Maybe we just like... This is a lot more creatures than I was prepared for. I think what I actually need to do, it's really awkward. We need to try to will the card. Do they have an Arena of Glory? They don't. Will the card Wrath of the Skies to the top of our deck with all our heart. Because Solitude is now just woefully expired. Although, will they be able to jump and kill? They're leaving Orcish Bow back. So no, they can't jump and kill. But this is going to set up Phlage being just insane. No, I think I do have to Solitude. Maybe we Solitude, exile Guide of Souls. Yeah, I think we actually have to Solitude here and hope to draw Wrath of the Skies anyway, then Wrath them and attack with the Solitude. Gain enough life to get out of the way of the Phlage, then top deck our way into being able to beat Phlage as well. I don't love it, but this is 6 damage. So even if we draw Wrath of the Skies and Wrath them, they'll just escape the Phlage and kill us. So white, whatever. Cast Solitude. Solitude comes into play. It triggers. I'm going to take out Guide of Souls. Technically, I let them gain more life than I should have, but that's fine. We'll take 3. Go down to 5. And then we just have to draw Wrath here. I think we're just straight up dead. Ocelot Pride makes bodies. Me draw. Well, I take it back. That's literally the 1 ring, which is like almost good enough. Let's play the 1 ring. And then I will draw a card now. All right, it's just a mountain. Looks like we get 1 more turn to try to draw Wrath. Yeah, they ping the Solitude. That's fine. They should have just... Well, no, I've got protection. Pinging the Solitude's the best thing. All right, do your thing, opponent. All right, combat don't work. We literally just have to draw it like, I think... No, we could technically draw it off of our ring, but that'll put us at a really low life total. All right, we'll play Meticulous Archive to try to stack it on top. That's not what that is, so we'll put it into the graveyard. And now we're going to activate the One Ring. Heads up play from our opponent would be to, oh, okay, we just hit land. All right, it never mattered anyway. We never drew the card we needed, even though we drew through 21 cards of our deck. I played against a buddy of mine, Alex, at FNM last week with this deck, and he slaughtered me, and a big part of it was I never drew Wrath of the Skies. The Boros matchup's a bit easier, but the Mardu one with Bowmasters is like, it's still probably favored for us, but if we don't draw Wrath of the Skies, it's just lights out. So we'll bring in Wrath, Soul Guide Lantern, not Teferi, not Drannith, well, maybe Drannith isn't that bad. No, I think Drannith is going to be like, it's not going to like stay resolved for very long. If we have enough space, we might bring in like 1 or 2. Dispute sucks, Force sucks, Subtlety is like fine. I think it kind of sucks though. Dress Down, meh. Yeah, I don't love Dress Down. Consign to Memory seems medium. Obsidian Charmaw seems medium. I could see maybe wanting some amount of Drannith Magistrate. I think we don't want Force of Negation. I think Sinking a Stupor kind of sucks. Tune the Narrative, I could see trimming 1 of, but with extra Wraths, maybe not. Counterspell trades poorly in this matchup, so I could see maybe bringing some number of Drannith Magistrate in. Although I don't think Drannith Magistrate stops Chthonian Nightmare either. Yeah, no, it doesn't. We're definitely going to bring these in. And I think that's it. We just need to try to like lean on our Galvanic Discharge. Or not Galvanic, well, yes, Galvanic Discharge, but also Wrath of the Skies. And then we're going to need Solitudes to be able to deal with our best friend, Sun Cleanser. I won the die roll. Actually, I lost game 1. 1 land with the One Ring Counterspell, Tune, Prismatic Ending. This is a 1-lander, but we have a Tune plus a Surveil. With the One Ring, we don't have a, a Wrath of the Skies, but we've got lots of single targeted removal. I think we're going to try keeping this. The power level of the hand is very high. Our fail state is never draw land, but that seems... that is a unlikely scenario. Fetch. Do we see an Ocelot Pride, or is it a Guide of Souls? It's Guide of Souls. You got it, buddy. Migo. Crack this Scalding Tarn. Go grab Thundering Falls, I think is what we want. Surveil. Put that right on top. Draw land number 2. Play land number 2. We're not going to do anything. We'll just, if they play a creature, if it's like something like an Ajani, we'll counterspell it. And if it's something kind of weak, we'll just go ahead and Galvanic Discharge the Guide of Souls in response so they don't get any energy. A second Guide of Souls, perfect time for me to Galvanic Discharge this Guide of Souls. Paying 2 energy. That one resolves though. All right, Surveil. Cool. Slow start for them. Their deck's pretty good at grinding though, compared to the Boros energy variation of the deck. All right, they pass to me. I get a Meticulous Archive and Serval. It's a Solitude up top. I just want land number 3, so I'll put that in the bin. Draw a card. That's not land number 3, so now what we'll do is we'll add a blue and we'll cast Tune the Narrative. All right, we missed land again, but what we will do is tap for white and Prismatic Ending the Guide of Souls. We've got lines even without making our land drops, but we do need to make the land drops pretty soon. We still got Pitchcast Solitude, so that's also pretty good. Tap 2 for an Unlicensed Hearse, sure. That's pending fodder if I've ever seen it. Yeah, Exile 2, you got it. Pass to me, pass to me. Take a draw, it's a Spell Snare. We're not actually going to pending the Unlicensed Hearse. We have no Phlages in the bin, so they can eat as much as they want. We're just gonna hold up our permission and clench until we find a land number 3. Looks like they leave the card on top. Cool. Averhub, make energy. A Johnny, how about a Spell Snare? No thanks, dude. Unlicensed Hearse eat 2, sure. Orcish Bowmasters, sure. We might actually pending the Orcish Bowmasters, just because of the power of our One Ring, now that they're down to 2 cards in hand. But notably, pending is like one of the only things we can use to hit Hearse as well, so it's kind of sticky. But we drew the land. I think we just need to deal with Orcish Bowmaster now. I think would be the ideal play. So let's do that. We'll leave red up. Prismatic, Bowmaster, 1, 2, no more Bowmaster for you. And then pass. They go combat, attack for 1, me go 16. Ouch. Hearse, sure, eat 2 things, why not? You got a spell for me? Nope, just passing. Great, cool, love to see it. Smells like they have an extra Orcish Bowmasters. He's just Sacred Foundry. I'm just gonna take this moment to get the One Ring into play. They can have a Disruptor Flute, that's fine. It just dies to Wrath, so we're just gonna need to find Wrath of this guys sooner than later. Orcish Bow, sure. All right, I take 1. One Ring come into play. I get protection, I activate. Arena of Glory, I can hardcast Solitude. That'll be pretty good. Guide of Souls, great. Hearse eats 2, sure. I'm gonna laugh if I just never see Wrath of this guys. It's so unlikely, we have a full playset. Take 1, take a draw step. There's my Wrath of the Skies. We found it. Here's Arena of Glory. Let's just do it at instant speed, dude. Red, white, blue. And that's white, white, and we have 3 energy, so it just works. Here is Teferi. Take up Teferi. Good luck, opponent. Now I don't know how they win. I'm just going to Wrath of the Skies them mid-combat. Wipe their whole board, draw cards while there's no Bowmaster in play. They can redeploy with whatever they want. I'll follow it up with Solitude, draw cards with Ring. Or I can just, like, bounce Ring plus play Ring. That would be pretty good. Sure, on Licensors. I just need to know where you're attacking, to be honest. 8, 9, 10, 11? Probably just me, right? Yeah. 1, 2, Wrath of the Skies, white, white. Done. I will pay 2 energy. Adios, everybody. Proceed. Lightning Bolt my face. Why not? You got 3 more of those? Lightning Bolt my face? Sure. You can have 3 more. There's only 1 more card in your hand. Go to end step. I'll just draw cards. On tap, take 2, go to 4. And then draw 3 cards. Play a Scalding Tarn. -3 Teferi on the 1 ring. Draw another card. Play the 1 ring. Holding up Counterspell? No, I don't think I need to hold up Counterspell. I'll just play out the 1 ring. Because then I have to fetch and I'd be in bolt range. So I'll just get protection from everything and pass the turn. And I have to go to discard. I don't think I'm going to discard Phlage because I can't escape it yet. I think I'll just pitch like 2 in the narrative. Go ahead, opponent. Phlage kill Teferi? Sure. Teferi's dead. Pass to me. I will not fetch, just in case the last card in their hand is bolt. Take a draw step. The 1 ring deals no damage to me. Invert Polarity is hilarious. Go white, red, red. Phlage you. Now bolt doesn't matter. Elegant Parlor tapped. Trigger. Wrath of the Skies can stay right on top. Go. Ocelot Pride, sure. Pass to me. I guess I'll fetch. Because you only have 1 in hand and you can have bolt. You cannot have bolt. We'll grab, I guess, basic island. You don't have Blood Moon, I know that, but we're just going to play around it anyway. Galvanic Discharge, target the Ocelot Pride. Pay an energy. Kill it. Well, no, I'm not going to cast Tune the Narrative just because they could have a Bowmaster. We'll just on-tap and draw. Take nothing to the 1 ring. Draw Scalding Tarn. Play Scalding Tarn. Let's just fetch. Grab a mountain. We will exert Arena of Glory using this red. Pay white, white. Cast Phlage, exiling, we'll pay this mana, exiling everything in our graveyard but the Phlage, and I guess a Wrath of the Skies. Phlage come into play, trigger, deal 3 to your face. Celestial Purge, Counterspell. It's cool, but no. Okay, game 3. The final game, the one to rule them all. Do I want to make any changes? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna like go into it and hope. Let's draw infinite Wrath of the Skies, please. Let's see, Cascade Bluff doesn't make colored mana without another land. We've got double Galvanic Discharge plus Wrath of the Skies. That's tough. I think we have to mulligan. It sucks because this hand's so good. If this was a fetch, I'd keep it, but it's not. Mulligan. Galvanic plus Phlage plus Elegant. Our lands all come into play tapped, and that sucks. But I think we keep. We lead on Raugrin Triome. We pitch the Counterspell. All right, let's do it, dude. Please don't open on Ragavan. They don't play Ragavan, so that's not a thing. Ocelot Pride. I hope not. All right, it's just a Guide of Souls. We can deal with that. Pass to me. All right, deck, let's play a game called Please Draw Wrath of the Skies as fast as possible. Raugrin Triome tapped. Pass to you. I guess I could have, you know, that was kind of a mistake. Maybe not. Maybe I still need to have like Galvanic Discharge at some point. But I could have shocked in Hallowed Fountain and held up Spell Snare. But now I guess I can shock in Hallowed Fountain, Galvanic Discharge their worst creature, and then hold up Spell Snare. And maybe that's better on some level. They will make a kitty cat token, but that's fine. We still need to get the Ocelot Pride. Double Ocelot Pride is a nightmare. Now we have to draw Wrath of the Skies as soon as possible. Because their Guide of Souls is about to get enough energy to start doing things. So that's this game got dark real quick. Double Pride, Guide of Souls hand, bad for us. Please, Wrath of the Skies. Please do not Sun Cleanser me. Okay. Me draw. All right, that's a Counterspell. It's kind of cool. I think I need to play Arena of Glory. Yeah, Arena of Glory. Tap it for red. Nope, I don't want to tap anything for red. I'm just going to pass the turn. That way, if they want to jump something with Guide of Souls, I can kill whatever they want to jump. And hopefully Spell Snare is good. This is literally just, this game just straight up comes down to, am I going to draw Wrath or not? If I do, I probably just win. If I don't, we just lose. All right, trigger the Guide of Souls. We're targeting Kitty Cat, red, Galvanic Discharge, the cat. Flare of Fortitude. You may sacrifice a white yada yada until end of turn. Your life total can't change. Permanent you control get hexproof and indestructible. Well, I guess that just happens. Okay, going super wide with cats. Me take many damages. I guess I can still Phlage one of them down, but these cat tokens are going to go so wide. Do you have a 2-drop? It's an unlicensed hearse, so I can counter that. Snare the hearse. No, thank you. All right. Make kitty cats. I drew another Phlage, which actually isn't the worst. Let's shock this into play and just Phlage one of these kitty cats. The big one, specifically. All right, Phlage, kill cat. Having 2 Phlages to deal with both cats is actually pretty sweet. And I'll go to 14. Go ahead. Land, sure. Do you have a 3-drop? Big 3-drop action. Fable. Hopefully not Ob. Ob would be bad. Some decks are playing Ob Nexus. It's just a Phlage. I mean, that's not great. We have to deal with the Phlage at some point, but it's not quite a nightmare scenario yet. All right, they attack for 3. Bring me to 8. Make a kitty cat. Me go. Okay, Plains is cool. Let's Elegant Parlor. We're going to try to turbo out our Phlage. If they make a land drop, it gets dark. All right, let's put that into the bin. And then let's go white, red, red, Phlage. Phlage comes in, kills an Ocelot Pride. And if they draw land, we're in a bit of trouble because their Phlage is going to come down before ours. But we could still draw Wrath of the Skies, and that would be good. A fetch land would be a fine draw for us. That would be cool. All right, we take 3. Please don't play Unlicensors. That would be really lame. It's just a Guide of Souls. All right, we go. The Mystic Gate, the actual worst possible. Let's play the Mystic Gate and pass. We're on a 2-turn clock. Maybe they draw land and try to go for it, and we can counterspell their Phlage and then Phlage back, and that'll be good enough. They go combat, attack for 4. Youch, me go to 4. Aether Hub. Now they can try to Phlage us if they want to. But that's going to put our counterspell in the graveyard and let us Phlage our opponent. And that's going to be pretty good. Okay, blue, blue. No thank you. Okay, they see it. Well, we trophy. I don't think they needed to concede there. They probably had like another turn. But yeah, this deck's pretty sweet. Happy to get a trophy. I'll make sure to put that in the title to entice everybody to click it. This has been a grinder. Like, I've been recording for 3 hours, given I've taken little tiny breaks between games because this deck's grindy. But if this, we'll see how short I can get this. If I can get the video to an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes, I'll do it in one part. You know what? We'll just do it in one part. But I am interested, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, for MTGO leagues, do you want to see them split up into parts, or do you want to see them all at once? I'm kind of indifferent. I personally would rather them be all in one part, and then because when I watch them I can just pause and then come back later, or even switch to another YouTube video and come back and YouTube knows where my place was. I have no clue. Thank you so much for watching, and as always I will see you next time.